A sympathetic goddess reincarnates her as an immortal witch in a new world. Azusa is determined to live a peaceful life, building a farm in the mountains and hunting slime every day to pass time. Due to her medical knowledge, 300 years passed, and she has become known as the Witch of the Highlands. On a whim, she has the Adventurers Guild measure her powers, and finds the experience of killing multiple slimes every day for 300 years is equal to defeating 4,380 dragons. She is now the strongest adventurer in the entire world. Soon, her carefree life is repeatedly interrupted by challengers, including Laika, a legendary dragon, who challenges her and is defeated, though she accidentally destroys Azusa's house. Laika returns in the form of a young girl, hands over her treasure hoard to repair Azusa's home, and asks to become Azusa's pupil. Hoping it will make life easier in the long run, Azusa accepts Laika as her pupil/maid, deciding to show her that a little daily effort can go a long way, starting with building them a bigger house to live in. Azusa is watched by a girl who swears revenge. Attacks by villains and monsters are likely to increase now that people know Azusa is strong, so they place a magic barrier around Flata village. A child, Flafa, claims her sister, Shlasha, is trying to kill Azusa, and that Azusa is their mother. Azusa learns that the sisters are actually 50-year-old slime spirits formed from the souls of every slime Azusa has killed. And while Falfa considers Azusa their mother, Shlasha wants revenge for the slimes. Azusa's magic is useless, as Shlasha reveals she trained for 50 years to perfect her Smite Evil spell against Azusa. Shlasha is easily defeated by Laika, who protects Azusa. Falfa explains that because Shlasha only trained Smite Evil to defeat Azusa, she is defenseless against everything else, and that Shlasha won't be able to use it again for at least another 50 years. Forced to give up her grudge, Shlasha decides to live happily ever after. Azusa decides to become their mother and invites them to live with her. Shlasha agrees that Azusa can keep killing slimes, but only the white ones that are evil. Azusa decides life with a dragon pupil and slime daughter can be peaceful too. Azusa's home is visited by Halkara, an elf girl who seeks help against the demon Beelzebub. She explains that she created Nutrispirit, an energy drink, but it made Beelzebub ill, so she fled to avoid punishment. Azusa agrees to take Halkara as her student and puts a barrier around her house. While gathering mushrooms, Halkara carelessly eats one that has aphrodisiac effects and tries to seduce Azusa, who punishes her. Azusa realizes that Beelzebub, the Lord of Flies, has been in the house disguised as a housefly the whole time. Azusa challenges her to a duel, during which Beelzebub flies into the barrier and passes out from shock. She helps her recover, during which Beelzebub explains that the Nutrispirit didn't make her sick. It actually gave her the energy to work all night, but then she overworked and made herself sick. Beelzebub actually wants more Nutrispirit. Azusa punishes Halkara for wasting her time. Halkara decides to move her Nutrispirit factory to Flata to keep living with Azusa. Beelzebub agrees to visit again to settle her duel against Azusa in a friendly manner, and to visit Falfa and Shalsha. Azusa decides she can handle her new family growing even larger, until Laika suddenly announces she is returning to her own home. Laika clarifies that she's only leaving temporarily to attend her older sister Layla's wedding, and that they're all invited. Laika flies them to Mount Roko, the volcanic home of the Red Dragons. Dragons from the enemy Blue Dragon clan crash the party led by Flatorte, a notorious bully who is jealous that Laika's sister is getting married before her, and so will use their ice breath to completely freeze Mount Roko. Azusa decides not to interfere in an inter-clan issue, but when a dragon endangers her daughters, she defeats the Blue Dragons and forces Flatorte to flee the wedding. At Mount Roko's village, Azusa finds Beelzebub, there for a hot spring vacation, draining the rest of the Blue Dragon's magic. Laika forces the captured Flatorte to assume her human form and pay for the damage. Azusa also forces her to sign a peace treaty, so she can never attack the Red Dragons again. At the wedding, Flatorte begrudgingly wishes Layla well as a married woman. Laika asks Azusa if she can treat her as a sister now that her own sister is married. Halkara's new factory has a ghost, so she's been unable to hire workers. Azusa summons Beelzebub to help her as she's scared of ghosts. Beelzebub forces the ghost to make itself visible, revealing she is a teenage girl called Rosalie who committed suicide centuries ago when her selfish parents sold her to be married to a cruel man. The factory used to be her family home, and as a ghost, she's trapped in the place she died. Azusa reveals that if she possesses a human to travel outside the building, she'll be freed. So Beelzebub offers Halkara as a convenient vessel, thrilling Rosalie. At Azusa's home, Rosalie realizes she is stuck in Halkara's body, which Beelzebub explains could kill Halkara before long. Attempting to remove Rosalai proves difficult, as she can't be shaken out, exercised, or even scared out. Putting Rosalai to sleep will help them get her drunk, allowing Halkara to regain her body. Then Rosalai is sobered up by dunking Halkara in freezing water, causing Rosalai to jump out of Halkara's body. Rosalai dispels the rumors about ghosts by making herself useful to the villagers, allowing Halkara to begin hiring workers. Beelzebub announces that Azusa will receive the Demon Medal of Honor for ending the war between the dragon clans, meaning they must visit the demon realm. Rosalai worries she won't be able to wear a nice dress since ghosts are permanently stuck in the outfit they died in. Since no spell exists to change a ghost's appearance, Azusa decides to create the spell herself, and manages to successfully change Rosalai into a dress. Beelzebub arrives with a giant flying whale demon named Fatla to transport them to the demon realm. Fatla is so large that she carries a luxury hotel on her back, run by her sister, Vania. After spending the night, they arrive at the demon capital city of Vanzeld to meet the Demon King. The Demon King turns out to be a little girl, Provat Pecora Alliers, who's a fan of Azusa and Halkari's Nutra-Spirit drink. Halkara, not initially realizing Provat is the Demon King, makes several rude remarks and has to grovel for forgiveness. Provat finds her funny and forgives her, only for Halkara to headbutt her while raising from her groveling position. With Provat unconscious, Halkara is arrested for attacking demon royalty and sentenced to death. Azusa hatches a plan to wake Provat using a foul-tasting potion. Provat wakes up and accuses Azusa of trying to poison her, then challenges her to a duel. Azusa destroys Provat's sword, so Provat agrees to spare Halkara, but then admits she's been seeking someone stronger than her and declares Azusa to be her big sister. Forced to agree, Azusa pretends to be a domineering big sister and forces Provat, now insisting on being called Pecora, to free Halkara. Pecora admits she has a submission complex and wants Azusa to boss her around. At the Medal of Honor ceremony, Pecora gives medals to Azusa and to Laika and Flatorte to celebrate the end of the Dragon War. She also forces Flatorte to let Azusa touch her horns as a sign of peace. Flatorte reveals that Azusa touching her horns means Azusa is now her master, so she must serve Azusa forever or commit suicide. Azusa realizes Pecora manipulated her into having to take Flatorte home with her. Flatorte decides to live with her anyway and starts calling Azusa Mama, leading to sibling rivalry with Laika. Laika and Flatorte bicker constantly. Falfa and Shalsha believe they are grumpy from not having eaten fresh meat. Natalie from the guild brings news of a boar infestation, delighting Laika and Flatorte. After killing the boars, Beelzebub and Fatla arrive and organize a feast of boar meat. Laika and Flatorte admit they were bickering over taking turns sleeping next to Azusa, so Azusa lets them both sleep in her bed. Azusa realizes someone has been impersonating her. While gathering information, they stumble into a pub that specializes in serving masochists, and the owner offers to identify the fake Azusa if they spend time abusing her customers, which Azusa and Laika discover they have a talent for. The fake is an old woman who tries to flee, but is caught and transforms into a young witch named Ino. Ino explains that she is a medicine maker and wants to be famous, but at the same time doesn't want too many people to recognize her. Azusa suggests she sell her medicine in character as an idol girl, so she'll be both famous and completely anonymous. Her medicine proves to be so popular that she asks Azusa's advice on expanding her business, and Halkara even considers making her a business partner at her factory. Falfa somehow turns into a slime and can't turn back. Beelzebub suggests they ask Intelligent Slime, who lives in Pecora's castle. Intelligent Slime doesn't know but points them to Magician Slime, atop a nearby mountain. As Magician Slime explains, she was a slime but used transformation magic to become human. She instantly diagnoses that Falfa is in her sleep form, meaning she must have pulled the muscle in her sleep, making it too difficult to maintain a human form. As she did this on instinct, she must learn how to transform back and suggests asking Fighter Slime, who gained her human form by studying martial arts. They locate Fighter Slime at a fighting tournament, which Azusa and Beelzebub both enter. Beelzebub defeats Fighter Slime, who helps Falfa turn back to human. Beelzebub demands Azusa fight her in the final to settle their old duel. Azusa refuses to lose while her daughters are watching and defeats Beelzebub again. Beelzebub later points out having won the tournament, Azusa's fame will spread further and cause her even more problems. Fighter Slime asks to become Azusa's student, but is defeated when she senses from Azusa's aura how many slimes she has killed. So he becomes the student of the reluctant Beelzebub instead. Shifanoya, a rabbit girl musician, visits Flata Village. but her death music doesn't impress the villagers. She passes out from hunger, so Azusa takes her home, where she reveals her real name is Cuckoo. She's been failing as a musician for 63 years, and is now considering getting a real job. Azusa advises her to continue if it makes her happy. Flotorte, a music fan, points out that death music isn't popular anymore, plus Cuckoo isn't that talented. Azusa suggests changing her style and asks everyone to think of new lyrics. Laika sings about devotion to Azusa, Halkara sings a song about promoting her Nutri-drink, Falfa and Shalsha sing about grasshoppers, and Rosalai sings about the depression of being dead. Cuckoo decides to abandon her Shifanoya persona and write a song inspired by Azusa and her family. Cuckoo's new song is heard by Beelzebub, who demands she perform it at the Demon Music Festival. Cuckoo suffers from stage fright at the thought of such a large audience, but is helped through it by Flotorte, who performs her song, Thank You, to massive applause. Her breakout performance led to hundreds of offers to play at other concerts. Cuckoo thanks everyone for believing her, especially Flotorte, who tells her to keep playing whatever style makes her happy, no matter what. Azusa accidentally feeds Halkara a magical mushroom, turning Azusa into a child. Azusa is annoyed, but Laika and Flotorte are delighted. Azusa summons Beelzebub, who is unable to resist her cuteness but agrees to take her to Pecora, who is also smitten with Azusa's cuteness but directs her to a dungeon within a giant world tree where an alchemist lives. Azusa expects a dangerous journey but finds the tree has been turned into a 108-floor tourist attraction where the higher they travel, the more money the tickets cost. Navigating the tourist traps takes time, and they stay overnight in a hot spring on floor 38. Then the next night on floor 84. Reaching floor 108, the alchemist, a young girl, gives her the cure, pills made by Ino. Ino arrives and is surprised that Azusa climbed the tree when wyverns could have flown her to the top. Plus, the medicine is available in Ino's shop close to Azusa's home. The group visits Flata, which is preparing for the dance festival, a 2-day event to celebrate the harvest. Azusa had previously distanced herself from the past dance festivals, but having bonded with the others, she wants to do something for the festival. During lunch at a cafe, Azusa gets inspiration from observing the strengths of others to run the coffee shop, the Witch's House, on the eve of the festival. In preparation for the festival, Azusa and the others try on their waitress uniforms, prepare the menu, set up the coffee shop, and distribute flyers to the Flata townfolk. On the eve of the festival, seeing the long queue at their coffee shop, Azusa opens the coffee shop 1 hour early and starts serving the customers with the others. As the coffee shop gets busier throughout the day, Beelzebub, Vania, Fatla, and even Pecora pitch in to help, and Slime Fighter, Ino, and Cuckoo also visit the coffee shop. With their help, Azusa and the others manage to serve all the customers and close the shop. Azusa thanks the others for making the coffee shop a success before they break while she reflects on the events of the series. The next day, with the others wanting to visit the dance festival, Azusa decides to take the group to the dance festival in the evening. Azusa gets a knock on the door, which she opens, greeting the person who starts her day. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you at the next one.